Hello and welcome to The Content Bite, a podcast for freelancers who use their words to make money. I'm Rachel Smith, a freelance journalist, copywriter, and content producer. I'm also the founder of Rachel's List, a jobs board and community for Aussie writers and other creatives.
Hello, and I'm Lynn Testoni. I'm a journalist and a content writer as well, and Rachel and I are your weekly co-hosts, and every week we're bringing you all kinds of tips, ideas, and some fabulous guests to help you make the most of your freelance business. Hi Rach, how are you going? Oh, it's been another busy week for me, but I know you've been itching to chat to our guest today. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yes, it's so exciting. We are chatting to Sophie Cross, who is a freelance marketing strategist and copywriter at Thoughtfully in London. I'm going to read a better bio for her though, because she's just an amazing all-round human. She came up with the idea of a quarterly business and lifestyle magazine, a square, glossy, print-first mag for freelancers at the beginning of 2021. And she launched it via a Kickstarter campaign in February, which hit 150% of its goal and sold 1,000 copies of the mag before it even existed, which is a huge achievement.
That's awesome.
I know. And it now has a rapidly growing community of B2B and creative freelancers and readers in 21 countries. And I think it may be the first magazine. I mean, I've read magazines for writers, but this may be the first magazine that I've read for freelancers anywhere.
It's so fabulous. We've both checked out the magazine and we both love it. And that's why we were so excited to have Sophie on, because it's really for freelancers of all kinds, isn't it? Not just writers.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because you get an insight into how freelancers in other industries run their businesses. But I think it appeals to me because there's so many creative folk in there, as you'd expect, because Sophie's a copywriter herself and that's her network, I suppose. Let's get her into the hot seat to tell us all about it.
She's waiting in the wings. So welcome to The Content Bite, Sophie Cross. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sophie, before we talk about anything to do with the magazine, I want to hear all about your van. Are you currently still sort of working on the road? Because I think the last time that we were swapping emails about it, I was having a little bit of envy because I was writing about camper vans at the time and you were telling me how you were having morning dips in lakes and you were parked in these gorgeous areas. So
yeah,
what happened with that?
Well, don't be too envious because I think November in the UK and a camper van isn't quite the same as it's Australia.
Probably
Maybe.
not, no.
Not in November just yet, are we? But yeah, I bought it a couple of months ago. It's been a lifetime dream and was kind of just thinking about it for ages, and then sort of thought, oh God, I need to save the money to put into the business, and then thought, actually, let's spend it on a van and not on Facebook ads, and then at least I'll have somewhere to live and drive if it all goes wrong.
I love that.
Yes. Has it been a challenge working while you're traveling around, or do you get more stuff done?
A little bit. Like I did try and kind of do a Zoom call once and it just failed epically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in general, it's been pretty good. Like I'm trying to work out of it sort of once a week as a bit of a challenge, have a nice walk or swim in the morning. And then it just tends to make you a bit more focused because you might have like 4 hours of battery or of good connection, or, I'll park up and pay for parking for a few hours. So yeah, in that respect, I think I'm just going to have to get a bit more, maybe not book Zoom calls on the days that I'm working from the van. So hence I'm in this amazing co-working space today.
Yeah. And you can, I suppose, have a list of places that you want to go and drive up to or camp at and that sort of thing. For me, it would be the Lake District. I don't know if you have been up there, but oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, because I'm based in London, so I haven't ventured too far away. So I haven't kind of gone to places where I'm a little bit worried about the connection yet. So I've kind of been staying within like a 2-hour radius of London and just heading to like Brighton to the beach and Margate. So yeah, Lake District is 100%, and Scotland and Wales on my list, like bucket list for, maybe just need to get a little satellite dish on my hands.
It's so big. It's so big. Camper vanning in Australia, it's huge. It's just exploded. It's quite amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely this is going to be the year that I hire a camper
I was going to
van.
say, I think you're a bit obsessed, Rach.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I had to write a big story about camper vans and hiring them from van owners. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with having one of my own or just hiring one. But anyway, we could talk about camper vans all night. So we're actually going to talk a bit about you.
And freelancing.
And freelancing. I know a little bit about you from LinkedIn, obviously, and followed you for ages, but I'd love to know a bit more about you and what you do, you know, your sort of freelance journey. So tell us that.
My background was really in hospitality marketing, travel and hospitality. So I worked for some sort of big corporates, Hilton and sort of Merlin Entertainments, who own a lot of the theme parks and London Eye and places like that in the UK and around the world. And just always wanted my own business, just really wanted to start something, and I had a bit of an epiphany when I realized that I could, instead of trying to set up a cafe or something like that, I could freelance as a marketer, and I already had the skills and the startup cost wouldn't be that high. So yeah, about 9 years ago now, I went freelance. I set up Thoughtfully, which is my freelance marketing and copywriting business. And it was going really, really well until the pandemic hit, really. So about 8 years in, because I focused a lot on travel and hospitality, it obviously wasn't the best industry to be in at the time. So I had to make some changes, and I started creating marketing courses last year and just getting involved in the freelance communities a lot more. So I already was, but you know, the nature of last year was that we were all online a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And out of that, the idea for the magazine was born, really. So, you know, trying to share knowledge, trying to share information, being part of these communities, and then realizing that there wasn't a magazine for freelancers, and actually, you know, a way to stand out in this digital space at the moment would be to make something that was print first. So yeah, I had the idea on New Year's Day this year.
Wow.
And we launched via Kickstarter in the February. So yeah, it's been pretty fast.
That sounds
amazing.
So fast. That's amazing.
It does. And I know we were talking offline about how the third issue is about to hit inboxes. If you're getting a digital issue or print, yeah, it'll be hitting letterboxes at the time of recording. You'll probably be, if people are downloading this later, you might be up to issue 6 or 7 by then, but still, it's very exciting, up to 3 issues. So was there ever a light bulb moment where you thought, I've got to start the magazine? New Year's Day is definitely not a day for big ideas generally.
Do you know what? I did 2020 off the booze, and I don't think I would have had the idea otherwise. So yeah,
that's kind of where I was going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God. So honestly, I had it. So Angela Lyons, who is our designer, and I had made a magazine before for a hotel group, and that had got pulled in the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
So I knew we could make a magazine. It was, you know, not quite the same extent as this one. So I called her. She was the first person I called after sort of, I think I texted her about an hour after I had the idea and said, and it was like Sunday, New Year's Day. I was like, can we just have a call tomorrow? And I said, yeah, would you design it for me, basically, if, you know, we're going to launch by Kickstarter? And she was like straight on board. Yeah, so we knew we could make a magazine, and I just, you know, I guess I had quite a lot of time on my hands as well because I wasn't doing as much client work. So yeah, I just went for it, like all guns blazing.
So you really just got a team of 2. That's pretty amazing, because both Rachel and I have been magazine journalists from way back, and we know how big a team that you often need. But wow, so how does that work? Or have you got more people on since?
So yeah, we've just taken on a freelance editorial assistant 2 days a week, and we're just looking to work with freelancers, obviously, because we're so new and it's a startup, and you know, budgets and startup costs. It's just about being you know, quite careful and quite focused with those budgets. And obviously we want to use freelancers, so it works kind of perfectly in that respect. It gives us a bit more flexibility. But yeah, fundamentally I write most of the magazine, so I do, you know, nearly all of the interviews, or have done for the past issues. We have just started to commission a little bit for some submissions, but yeah, at the moment I write most of it, and does all the design. And yeah, we're just looking to start growing that a little bit more. We've just taken this editorial assistant on. So
wow, I know you talk in your editor's letter about, you know, how it's this kind of incredible collaborative kind of push behind the mag, and you've said that the support that you had, it was really lovely thing that you said, made you feel like you were being crowd surfed at a festival or something. It was that much of being held up by this freelance community. So was that a surprise to you, the power of the community coming behind the idea?
Do you know, I really thought the reason I wanted to launch via Kickstarter was first and foremost was to test like a product market fit. So I wanted to know that people wanted it before I bought it, before I made it, sorry. You know, obviously getting the startup funds up front was a massive added bonus, and getting the community involved early and all the momentum it generated. And, you know, I wouldn't have been able to launch it without having that money in the bank. But I kind of thought, you know, I knew the people in the communities that I was part of on Twitter. I thought, you know, people will get behind it. But the extent that people did has just been mind-blowing, really. Like the whole time, people sharing it. Most of our sales come from word of mouth, come from people shouting about it on social media. But, you know, people were like, we had like Andrew Bolton, who's this incredible copywriter, just kind of wrote this surprise campaign for us and made videos. And we've just, you know, had all these close friends like Dave Harland, another copywriter, and Ed Callow. It's all about the copywriting community. He wrote into BBC Radio 6, and we had a massive kind of feature on BBC Radio 6. You know, people were just bought it and have shared or have done anything, was just incredible. But yeah, people have gone above and beyond the whole time. But it's amazing because it feels like it's for the community and it's by the community, and we, you know, I am just, the magazine is just really a vehicle for sort of sharing those stories and sharing that knowledge.
That's what I loved. The episode I've read most of, I've got a couple here, is the one about community. And there was such a lovely feeling about that, about the freelance community. And Rachel and I are really involved in the freelance community here in Australia. And I get such joy out of being part of that community, and I get so much. And it was really lovely to see those same sort of things echoed in your magazine. And I think hopefully, because you said it's all over the world, I guess that's probably universal, is it?
So I started joining freelance communities about 3 years ago, and it hadn't really occurred to me before, even though I suppose in your head you're the sort of person that thinks, oh, you know, collaboration over competition, and you believe in these values. But actually kind of finding these communities over the last 3 years was just, you know, a game changer for me. But then, you know, ultimately this is what the idea for the magazine came out of. Like I would never have done it if I wasn't part of those communities, let alone all the rest of the support and everything I've had. But yeah, I really want to, you know, share that to other people that maybe aren't part of those communities. And, you know, I think that, you know, having a community is not just about, you know, you as a brand having a dialogue, or you as a person having a dialogue with someone else. It's about connecting those people within it. And I just love to see that. I love to see that people within the magazine are like talking to each other on social and like saying, oh, I really loved seeing you in this article, or, you know, becoming friends and starting to collaborate and work together. Like I saw something yesterday, which a graphic designer I know really well working with a marketer, and yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah, wow. And so how has it changed your work? Like, do you think that the mag is going to take over in the sense of it will become the main thing that you do, and you might go monthly and that sort of thing? Has it been a surprise how much work it does take to put together?
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't know if it's a surprise. I suppose it's a balancing act at the moment. So I did leave my last big client, which I didn't really want to. I did like working with them, but I just really wanted to focus on it pretty much full time. I do still do a little bit of writing just to keep the money coming in, and basically it's my full-time gig now. And yeah, just I suppose balancing, I suppose setting up a startup, there's sort of three prongs. You have the kind of creative side, you have the, you know, the technical side where you have to focus on the operations and the doing, and then you also have the growth. And it's really, really hard to get the balance between the three, you know, to not get kind of caught up in the doing or caught up in the creativity. So yeah, I'm just checking in with myself. I have a business coach as well who's amazing, just trying to keep me focused and trying to keep everything I'm doing intentional and calling me out on BS basically.
To keep that balance going.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have, I mean, I loved it. You've got all these different sections. So do you have a favorite section? Which one are people responding to most?
Oh gosh, the favorite. Oh, it's like asking about a favorite child. I suppose, definitely not a favorite section, but I think we're probably the only magazine. Well, I don't know, but I reckon we're the only magazine with a playlist.
Yes.
I love putting together kind of like the main features, I suppose. So, but yeah, I definitely don't have a favorite section yet. Yeah, we've got a feature in the next issue called "It's Not Unusual to Be a Freelancer Unless You're a ... And we've got a drag queen, a doula, an art YouTuber, a paradance teacher. So it's just amazing to kind of, be speaking to all these different people and getting their stories.
Interesting freelancers, yeah.
Wow. And do you think like the influx of social media and all those kind of online communities that we have now and all the digital publications, I suppose, makes this the best time in some ways to launch a magazine because you can reach those people more effectively, I suppose?
Yeah, and I think, we were in lockdown when the Kickstarter launched, and I suppose, and there was just such a nice vibe really around people helping each other more than ever, I suppose, in the pandemic. So we definitely benefited from that in that respect. I suppose people aren't online as much now as they were a year ago, so that's something to kind of be mindful of. Yeah, I think our main channels, or our only channels we really use, are social media to let people know about the magazine. So, then we kind of have an email newsletter and things like that. But yeah, we're 100% focused on social media for marketing and for kind of like growing the community and engaging with the community.
Yes, you could argue that the pandemic has shown the power of community as well. I mean, people haven't been able to travel. People have been looking for those connections. I think that's what people missed.
For sure, yeah. And yeah, even though it's print, all of our articles, we always include like the social media handles for people, so everyone can connect with everyone within the magazine. So that's really important to us.
Yeah, I love that. I've gone and followed so many people that I've spotted in the mag. I feel like a bit of a stalker, but you just can't help it.
In a good way.
Yeah. It's really interesting, actually. It opens up your world to so many freelancers who are doing really similar things to you, but live in the UK or live in so many different places, Spain. I think you had in the creative spaces section, someone who was living in Spain.
Testing me now.
I can't remember if it was Spain or Italy.
Was in that. Robin Santa Maria was in France. I can't remember the other people we had.
Oh, maybe it might have been France. I'm just thinking about it. But that is one of my favorite sections. Yeah. I love seeing other people's home offices and just what they've done with them. And yeah, it's good. I love that.
Yeah, do you know that? Yeah, that was one we had in creativity, and then we haven't redone that. But I think that's a good point. I think maybe we should make it a bit more of a regular feature.
Yes, please. And I'll put my hand up. I can supply my home office anytime.
It looks beautiful.
Oh no, this isn't it.
Oh.
That's her virtual Zoom office.
Zoom background.
Yes. You're in your living room.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm in the bedroom, which is why we're on a Zoom background.
Is that a virtual Zoom background?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it does look quite real.
I did realize yours was, Lynn, to be fair.
Yes, mine is my holiday house because I can just dream.
And also your hair keeps disappearing.
Yep.
This conversation will be really interesting for people listening and not having any idea what we're talking about. But
exactly.
Yeah.
It's no secret magazines have really struggled. We've had a lot of magazines here in Australia that have closed. I think it's similar in the UK. Did that give you pause? I mean, I love the fact that you wanted to go for print first. Was there a reason behind that?
The reason was to stand out and just to, I felt it was going to bring more of that sense of community, like that sense, I don't think a lot of us have had since we were children, where you might receive a magazine in the post and kind of feel like you're part of a bit of a club. So I thought that, I just wanted it to be print first. I really, really did. But I suppose I'm trying to do things a little bit differently. It's still definitely challenging, but I do feel that, you know, a lot of the print kind of publications maybe focused a bit too much on kind of advertising and circulation, and, you know, getting their circulation figures really high, even if that was, you know, getting copies out for free or getting copies out that maybe didn't end up being sold. And, you know, certainly I know my experience was from the client side, kind of having magazines kind of sat on your desk that get sent out to people and then being asked to advertise in them. So I think, you know, we were 100% about the readership first. All our copies are paid for because we just wanted to build a really engaged community. So even, you know, we don't want to kind of be fake adding thousands of, you know, circulation numbers on, but because we knew that down the line that, and even now, that is what appeals to advertisers as well. So that is really our business model, is to focus on the readership, focus on the product, have all our copies paid for. And also we only have a few very small retailers, like kind of indie mag shops. We don't, we're not going out to big retailers at the moment because, you know, it's really important for us to have that direct relationship with the customer, and it also gives us better profit margins as well. So it's about growing slower but better, hopefully.
Sustainably.
I might be, and that's the other thing, you know, we don't want to be sending out magazines to shops that are going in the bin at the end of the day. So that's another big consideration for us. So yeah, maybe I'll be cutting off my nose to spite my face, but yeah, that's how I want to try and do things a little bit differently than maybe some traditional publishers have done.
I know, like some really niche publications in Australia are doing well, like Frankie. I think people are looking for different things, aren't they, in magazines these days? If they're going to pick one up and buy it, they really want that thoughtful, you know, helpful, curated content, much like people want online, I suppose. But do you think that niche publishing, you know, is the future, and it can offer that commercial model that will go the distance?
Yeah, 100%. I'm pro niche in all ways, really, whether that's in your freelance business or in your publication. I really think you have to make people feel like it's for them, right? Like otherwise, if you're trying to do everything for everybody, then you're just going to be forgettable. So the other thing that we try to do is we say being inspirational without being overly aspirational. So, you know, we're trying not to kind of just say, oh, you know, working from a co-working space in Bali or in Mexico City. We want things to really resonate with people, and, you know, it's not going to kind of help grow your your confidence as a freelancer if you can't relate to that other freelancer. So yeah, I'm pro niche.
Oh, I like that.
Have you found, like, through doing the magazine, that you've learnt stuff as well, and that you'll perhaps take into your own business, even though the magazine is going to be your core thing going forward? Have there been things that you've learnt by doing it?
100%. Yeah, it's just amazing. I just have this fountain of knowledge being like showered on me the whole time from people that, you know, and just speaking to people and thinking, oh God, the way you run your business is so incredible. Like, I have to interview you, I have to put it in a magazine, and having that vehicle to do that. But it's really made me conscious about leading by example, and putting into practice these things that we're talking about. And I think that what I do with my freelance business, you know, and if I start taking on more client work in the future, or the way even that I do it now, I will be doing things, and I do things differently. But it's just, you know, it's a real privileged position for me to interview all these people and just to get all this kind of knowledge the whole time.
Wow.
It is quite inspiring without being sort of out of reach. I think you've got a nice mix there, because it's great seeing people work in all different ways, and neither is better or worse, but they're all interesting, and each of them has something to offer. I thought it was really interesting.
And you can pick up ideas from everybody and take that back into your own business. You know, I have to also say, I love the ads. I think they're really funny and clever. And, you know, it's the first time, it's quite refreshing, isn't it? Because normally you just, you know, skim over the ads, but they're quite eye-catching and really well written, obviously, because most of them are copywriting ads. I love them.
Yeah, loads of people have said that. And, you know, I feel like it's a bit of, you know, like, I don't know, cliche, but it sounds very biased coming from me. But the advertisers have just been incredible, and you know, very much a part of the community as well. And it's something that people keep saying, and it's just great.
Oh, that's nice.
I know that you are really kind of plugged into LinkedIn. How much do you use LinkedIn, and what tactics do you use to sort of promote the magazine and get ideas and that sort of thing for future issues?
Most of our business, like, that's our biggest social media channel. So, you know, and I'm really, again, pro LinkedIn. I know that it's got a bit of a bad reputation, and I know that, but I think it's just changing so quickly right now. There's so much opportunity there. You know, people, that's where people are coming to do business, right? So one of the courses I launched last year was LinkedIn for Humans, which is the course that does, you know, the best for me. And I launched that course because I saw, you know, a change in how, you know, I was using LinkedIn, and the effect that I was having on my business, and it, you know, was happening almost instantly. Like within a few months, my business had totally kind of transformed from being proactive on LinkedIn.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just the way I probably to best explain it is, if you were at a kind of face-to-face networking event, or, you know, sat down with your ideal client at dinner, you wouldn't kind of just present them like a chart, or say, you know, you would have this normal conversation with them, and you would try to be giving them like helpful information. So I think turning up there and, you know, trying to be helpful, trying to genuinely kind of connect with people, I've just made, and, you know, if you come out and you're open and honest and genuine and helpful, you will make those kind of true connections with other people who also have those intentions. So yeah, I think that it's about doing that 80% of the time. And then when, you know, when the magazine comes out, when we, you know, occasionally I do posts where we sell things, right? So I talk about there's advertising opportunities, you know, the magazine is out, you can buy it. And I think that's the thing is, you know, when you're selling something, don't make any bones about it, you're selling something, right? But 80% of the time you've got to be showing up.
It's business. So
I guess it's not about kind of doing those posts and like shoehorning. Also, by the way, you can, so yeah, I think, you know, turn up, show up, be consistent. It's not, you know, if you're just starting out, it is hard at first, you know, even to like things or comment on things, but your confidence will grow, and you will get kind of a sense of the etiquette. Like every social media channel is different. So if you're hopping between a few and not focusing on one, it can be quite difficult to kind of get the sense of each one. So I'd say, you know, pick one that's best for you and focus on it.
Yeah. But you use social, I know you use Twitter as well to kind of get ideas and get information from other freelancers. And does that really inform the content that you know, your content planning?
Yeah, definitely. That's a really great platform for, I don't know, a bit more like chats and kind of lots of mates on there. And it's, you know, a bit more instantaneous. And it's also great, you know, on LinkedIn, you can't share other people's stuff, but on Twitter you can, right? So it's a lot better for that sort of thing. But yeah, it's great for like, I don't know, put a tweet out saying, you know, what songs would you like to see on the playlist? Or, you know, we did a feature on like the best co-working spaces. So, you know, which co-working spaces are your favorite co-working spaces? So it's just, fantastic for being able to gather information like that. And, you know, you can get these amazing threads of, I don't know, people, you know, I had a really great thread that was like, how did you win your first client? And that becomes a really useful thread for other people as well. So yeah, that's a great way to use it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, something that we do with freelancers that come on is we ask them about their favorite tools. And I imagine you would have a few different ones putting a whole magazine together. So what are the ones, the apps or the tools or services that you can't live without?
I'm going to say top of the list for me is Notion. So Notion is, it's kind of like Trello, but 100 times better. So I sort of transferred everything from Trello. So yeah, it's where I kind of gather all, Trello users.
I was going to say, I like Trello, but everyone's telling me there's so many better things out there.
I moved to Asana from Trello, but now you're making me think I need to look at Notion after moving to Asana.
Trello is better for kind of project management or collaboration, maybe. I don't really use Notion for that. So I use it for like gathering all my notes and creating like databases and content plans and business plans and things like that. So yeah, I absolutely love Notion. Marketing wise, we use We use Squarespace for our website. We use, I'm a MailChimp fan. I know not everybody is, but yeah, I'm a big MailChimp fan. And we use Issue for our digital copies of the magazine. So I think those are the main apps I'm kind of couldn't live without.
Okay.
So we love Freelancer. So what do you hope that readers of the magazine will take from it? And where do you want to take the mag? Do you have any big plans? You're going to take over the world?
So do you know what? I might give you like absolute exclusive, but
yes,
yeah.
Please.
It hasn't officially been announced. I guess people do think that it will happen, but yeah, we kind of guaranteed issues 1 to 4 via the Kickstarter, but exclusive, we will be going beyond kind of issue 4. And
fantastic.
Yeah, so I was going to announce that to advertisers first, but you've just got in there. So for the Kickstarter, we hosted a big launch party, live streamed on Twitch, and also a closing party, and they were just incredible. So DJs Dom C and Mary Rose, who are also the cover stars of issue 1.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be hosting the Freelancer Christmas party with them again, so it's going to be live streamed. So yeah, you can join from all around the world. That also hasn't been announced yet.
So much
fun.
Yeah, we'll put that in our wrap up because people will love that. Yeah, when's the date of that?
So the save the date is actually in issue 3. So yeah, people will find out about the save date, but it's Wednesday the 8th of December. It'll be in the evening UK time, so probably about 7 p.m. But yeah, the save the date will be coming out across all our socials and in our email newsletter, and like lots more information coming about that. So yeah, lots of exciting things. We've also got a brand new newsletter launching, so dedicated to freelancers, called the Dunker, which so there is a picture of a biscuit and a cup of tea next to it, so the context will be got hopefully when you get it, but yeah, it's going to come out in the next couple of weeks, and it's kind of dedicated. You can have a biscuit and a coffee, and it's going to be like the best in creativity, the best in business, and like events and things like that for free, like dedicated to freelancers. So yeah, lots of exciting things coming up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
How fantastic. Well, congratulations on the mag and on going beyond 4 issues. That is super exciting. And thank you so much for sharing, your story with us and about the magazine. I sincerely hope that there is a Freelancers and their vans feature coming up where we can see your van. Has your van got a name?
It's called Ernie.
Ernie, I love it.
Yeah, we need to see Ernie in a feature. Maybe Ernie is in a feature in issue 3, which we haven't seen yet. So
yeah, well, actually, I do. So with Thoughtfully, I do a weekly newsletter, and it's kind of migrated into notes from the van. So yeah, if you go to thoughtfully.co.uk, you can sign up for that newsletter, which is kind of business notes from the van, which actually drops. I need to finish writing it today. So yeah, it drops.
Fantastic. I'll definitely sign up for that. And see, I told you all that I would slip the van back in there towards I couldn't let it go. Obsessed. I couldn't let it go. But tell everybody else all your vitals. Where can people find you? Where can they buy the latest issue and back issues and that sort of thing? Yeah, so it's freelancermagazine.co.uk. So the shop is in there. We're on Instagram at freelancermag. And then my personal kind of Twitter is at fully thought out. I'm on Insta at the same handle. You can find me on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's, we go on forever, couldn't we? Yeah.
Well, we'll put all of those things into the show notes as well, so people can find it if they're at their desk or on their phone or anything. So thank you so much, Sophie. It's been lovely having you. And we're so thrilled with all the things you're doing to support freelancers, because that's something that Rachel and I always want to get behind as well. So close to our hearts as well. It is. It has been an absolute thrill having you on. Sophie Cross, thank you very, very much. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, and everybody listening, please let us know if you have any feedback for Sophie or if you enjoyed the episode, because that gives us warm fuzzies. Doesn't it, Lynn? We love it. We love it. We love it. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye. Bye.